Will Smith's survival game isn't real, it can't hurt you. Quote unquote. Asmongold TV says as a title on his channel. Let's react to this. TI3 Star sign is the sign we are born under. Tibby Cat, by the way, just saying now.
Will Smith made a video game, and it's a video game with zombies in it. I saw it. I thought it was a joke. I had to check the date on this. I'm like, oh, what did this happen like 10 years ago? It's just like one of those like weird, you know, how, like YouTube like randomly recommends you like dumbass videos. I thought it was like one of those. Does he slap the zombies? They should have actually, like, honestly, if they let him slap the zombies, I'd probably play the game.
So there's a Will Smith video game, apparently. Did anyone else know about this?
I had no idea.
I'm looking around and
Never
I feel
heard
like
of this.
nobody knew about this.
Wonder why.
And given Will Smith's celebrity status, and given that he posted a trailer on his personal channel, I would have assumed that many people actually knew about this.
I know Will
No,
Smith.
it's the first time we're hearing about it, and the only reason we're even hearing about this game is because the game flopped so hard that
so it's like people only knew about it because it was bad.
Garnered the attention
Classic,
of the outlets reporting on this.
It's like one of those people on YouTube, like a DSP situation,
you remember those old
where like seemingly every single
Disney
person on the internet knows who this guy
on, like,
is,
the
but nobody actually watches the content.
PlayStation 2,
it's
whatever.
like this weird,
oh,
like catch-22. People only know about certain like content creators because of the bad shit that happens to them or bad shit that they do.
Yeah, that could happen.
Only
too.
now are people discovering that this game even existed, which may explain why this game flopped like it did. So first of all, let's check out the trailer for this game. It's called Undawn, and there's a Will Smith trailer that Will Smith posted on his channel 10 months ago, back in May of 2023. The likes to dislikes ratio already highlights that this is a game that...
What was it? I didn't even see it. Ooh, this is the pit stop for everyone just learning now that this game exists. Keep my wife's brain out your fucking mouth.
What?
The likes to dislikes ratio already highlights that this is a game that was not particularly enticing, but let's check this out and see what it's all about.
I know what you're thinking. Anybody would kill to have this view. At least that's what I tell myself every day. I mean, every damn day.
Must have been a hell of a paycheck.
You're not dreaming. Here, you're free to go anywhere. If you want to explore, you can escape into
This is the new Cryptoland trailer.
Very random.
You can find peace and quiet under the
Oh man.
Can't beat a breakfast you cut yourself. You can fry them, grill them.
This whole bit is going overly long, and I'd like to see the game now.
Choice of wheels. Some are more selfie-friendly than others.
How do you do this? How do you do this?
Sometimes you need a little more horsepower.
Okay, it's a Mustang. All right.
Yeah. It's rewind time.
Hey, if it's like GTA, it could be a good setting for that, right?
I guess they're going for like a Dead Island cheeky kind of trailer.
Always have funny side quests to do and whatnot. But it probably isn't like that.
So we're gonna see some gameplay?
Not your dinner.
I can't tell if this is an engine or CGI, but either way,
wow,
it does not look great.
Why would a zombie have a mask on?
And there's Will Smith. His likeness. His likeness is in the game, and he made a whole promotional video dedicated to this title that would come out.
Man, you know what really makes me confident about a video game? Is a trailer for it with no footage from the video game.
Gameplay. Oh yeah.
Man, that really tells me all I need to know.
Long after the release of this trailer, Undawn came out on PC and mobile on June 13th,
not
2023.
inspire confidence.
Jeez.
You can already see that the reviews are pretty mixed for the time that this game's been out, sort of in the 50s. As far as percentage is concerned, even recent reviews are sort of in that range.
How does this have anything to do with Will Smith
actually looks like? Well, we got some
shitting on his island?
Wait, this looks just like Once Human. Like, this is the exact same UI as Once Human.
Just do a GTA ripoff and it would be fine.
Wow.
What in the world?
The gameplay actually looks like, well, we got some GIFs here highlighting its survival elements as well as its zombie shooter elements. You can build stuff, craft stuff, cook stuff, shoot zombies. It looks fairly generic, to be honest with you. It's definitely got that generic mobile game look to it that is also heavily...
This is probably the first time and the last time I'll ever say this, but Suicide Squad looks better than this.
Where's Will Smith?
Monetized user reviews kind of already detail how this game is not particularly enticing. People are joking that the game's budget went into Will Smith's wallet. We'll talk about the game's joking that the game...
Wait, what?
Where did this come from, bro? Like, what?
Wait, what?
And I'll just say, South American people are awful to play with in any game.
What?
Oh my god.
game's budget went into Will Smith's wallet. We'll talk about the game's budget because it's a big part of why this game has flopped so severely in the eyes of the company that published this game, Tencent. But furthermore, apparently the graphics are not satisfactory. The story isn't really there. The controls are especially being panned. This being a mobile game, the way it was adapted to PC as a port apparently just didn't turn out particularly well. It is one of the clunkiest and worst mobile ports I've ever played. The controls are clunky and make very little sense, and it is further detailed here. You can read it for yourself. Controls is a big issue, combined with the fact that the overall package is just pretty mediocre all in all. There are a few reviews surrounding this game, like this one from Pocket Tactics.
So I mean, here's the thing. It has 800 players or like 1,100 players. There are a lot of games that are worse than this.
Okay.
And I understand this isn't really a big seal of approval here, but it's worth keeping in mind. There are games that are even worse than that.
Published 9 months ago, and American was at the 5 out of 10, despite a solid...
But if the handling sucked, then what are you going to do with the best game in the world? I don't know. I mean, are we going to play Final Fantasy XI now? I kind of want to play that, even though probably only with the... There's this add-on that makes it a lot more better than the handling, right? But imagine playing Final Fantasy XI without the unofficial add-on for the handling. I mean, come on.
Core of zombie killing action. Seriously impressive character creator. Undawn finds too many ways to dilute the action into something that struggles to move at an entertaining pace. With overwhelming UI, too many resources to keep track of, and grisly movement mechanics in place. This is one of those, or this is one for those who desperately want to replicate the motorcycle riding, zombie killing thrills of Days Gone, and a few others. And then here we have another review from Game8.co that gave.
And I'm just saying, it's that kind of problem if the controls are mushy and awful in all kinds of ways, right? Like, it's that kind of problem. It really is.
This came a 46 out of 100.
A 46 is pretty good. There were a few classes in high school that if I got a 46 on a test, I would be like, damn, I'm like halfway there. That's not so bad. Yeah, I'm halfway there.
Hey.
And mediocrity.
Hey, you gotta keep in mind, though, these scores get balanced in a way that, like, it's just like when you get a 7 out of 10 on an anime. That's like, when you rate it 7 out of 10, that's actually the real 5 out of 10, the 7 out of 10. And tests, they tend to get balanced that way too. So as I would imagine it's the same for other reviews, not just for anime reviews. But so 7 out of 10 is like, watched it, it did everything okay. I don't regret watching it. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't watch it again, but at least no regrets, right? So that's a 7 out of 10. Yeah, technically it's there. It's there. And if it's below 7 out of 10, it's not quite there technically, right? In many ways, potentially.
Reads the subtitle. This review breaks it down by overall story, gameplay, visuals, audio, and value for money. The story is just really basic. The gameplay, apparently this game was marketed as a survival game that offers freedom, but it's anything but. In reality, it's an empty shell of what should be a compelling experience. It has all the usual trappings of a survival game: hunting, needs, meters, building, and crafting mechanics, but the game's implementation of these elements falls flat. Everything feels too simple and lacks any sort of nuance or depth. The visuals feel very dated. The audio, well, the English voice acting apparently is decent, but not much.
There are mobile games that look and play like mobile games, and there are mobile games that you can play on PC and not be reminded that you're playing a mobile game. Like Star Rail is like that.
Oh, yeah,
Diablo Immortal, for as much garbage as it has, it at least has a decent UI where it doesn't look like a mobile game in the same way the other ones do. Whoever's games, I would say Honkai Impact 3rd, still, I think that game looks like a mobile game. That game looks and plays like a fucking mobile game. In a way that I would say that Genshin and Star Rail do not. They're a little bit better in that category. I think this game, bro, like this just looks like just a traditional run-of-the-mill mobile game. This looks like a game that you can spend $2,000 on it.
else to it. And then there's the fact that this game is heavily monetized. Undawn is a free-to-play game rife with ways to make you part with your money. So it is microtransactions infested. Not at all surprising, given it is a mobile game.
Are you kidding me?
PC coming from Tencent. On PC, you can see that the player base surrounding this game is pretty minuscule, especially nowadays. The all-time peak for this game sits at roughly 8,500 players.
That's
that was
pretty
back in June of 2023. Since then, the average player numbers continue to diminish over time. It got a little boost recently, maybe because of the fact that people finally discovered
a mobile game that really wants your money.
Some people decided to go and play it anyway. Once Human releases Q3, yeah, that game was fucking good. I'm telling you, I played the beta of that game. I put like 400 hours into that game. It was bad.
This game, but even then,
the game was good. It was bad that I put that much time into it. The game was great. I love the game. I thought the game was great.
General sort of discussion surrounding this game is how much it's flopped and how mediocre it is, and a lot of content creators who are making content for this game, they're just kind of highlighting that this is all just something of a laughable moment for Tencent as a company who thought Will Smith's celebrity power would be able to be enough to drive.
Tencent doesn't give a fuck. Like, you have to understand that, like, Tencent is like my YouTube channel. We release 6 videos a day. If we have a video that bombs out, like, we don't even know it. Like, it's like you figure that out after the fact, like 2 weeks later. Damn, oh no, I guess people didn't really watch this one a lot. Oh, well, that's the way it is. Like, because I release so much extra shit, it doesn't matter. Tencent is putting out hundreds of games. YouTube. They probably don't even know about this. They probably think to themselves, oh, there's 800 people playing? Ah, well, it's not as bad as some of the other ones.
sales surrounding a game
of
that
course you
just
can
doesn't
have
stand out from an oversaturated
pet
market. And so
projects
now we're
because
looking
you
at numbers
care,
that are roughly in
right?
the triple
But-
digits as far as player base is concerned, which for a live service, that doesn't bode well. And once again, the reason we even found out about this game, or many of us found out about this game, was because of the reports surrounding its financial failure that Tencent itself admitted. And this was something that Reuters reported here via this article titled "Tencent's Next Level Up: Fewer Big Foreign Franchise Games, More In-House." Here we have an Insider Gaming article that summarizes what went down with this game and what transpired.
Yeah, it's like, how the fuck? Like, how did I not even know about this? I feel like, how did this happen after he did the slap and nobody fucked around with this whenever it came out? I'm shocked.
As far as its piss poor financial performance is concerned. First of all, was I the only person who knew about the Will Smith zombie game? Apparently, this editor knew about it way beforehand, but most of us didn't. Even on YouTube, if you go to the Undawn trailer that Will Smith posted, the top comment reads, "This is the pit stop for everyone who is just learning that this game exists." So let's check out what Insider Gaming reported here based on information Reuters put out there. So the game had garnered more than 2 million pre-registrations, in part because of Will Smith's promotional boost. But
2 million people pre-registered for this? Why would they do that?
This game came out, it bombed monumentally, making just $287,000 against a development budget of $140 million.
What? 140 million? What?
You know what? Maybe Tencent does actually give a fuck about it. Maybe, you know what? I thought this was just some little thing on the side.
That's a lot of money.
You telling me $140 million went into this fucking game?
$1 million. To say that this game lost money would be an understatement. $287,000.
Bro, this game didn't lose money. It's fighting against inflation.
Development budget, by the way, not marketing budget.
$140 million. This is not going to even begin to cover the cost.
Nobody knew about the game.
Substantial budget for a game that does not feel like it's worth $140 million. I wouldn't be surprised if most of that budget had to go to Will Smith and try to get his star power to try to move the needle on the interest surrounding this game. $140 million. That just makes absolutely no sense when I've seen far better looking, far better playing, just far more high fidelity and advanced looking games be made for less than that or for around this budget. This is like AAA scale money for a game that does not look AAA other than the star power that they hired. And the development efforts...
it's AAA, the budget's AAA. So it is a AAA game. It's just not in terms of the quality, but the budget
surrounding this game are not paltry. It reads right here that 300 developers were working on this game, which is quite significant.
300 people.
But unfortunately, their efforts weren't enough.
This reminds me of the one time I saw 14 people working behind a
and they
Whataburger.
didn't get the basics right. I mean, yeah, that happens.
There were way too many people behind that Whataburger working at 2 in the morning, laughing, having fun. I got food poisoning. I was throwing up hamburger chunks in my nose.
To really make this game.
You ever see somebody at a fast food restaurant who works there who's smiling? You better watch the fuck out. They're not paying attention.
Like, who's gonna fix the basic problems? If there's 300 people,
visually, narratively, gameplay-wise, it all
put
just
together
looks very,
because you got the money to put them together.
And so now there's just no traffic as far as concurrent players and daily players are concerned, and no traffic when it comes to social media presence and content creation and streaming and what content creation there is surrounding this game.
Well, why didn't Will Smith post himself playing it or something like that? I mean, I feel like Will Smith kind of finessed them. Like, let's be honest, they probably gave this dude millions of dollars. He probably got millions of dollars to do this. And he didn't. He did? Well, he should have paid to have the videos boosted then. He should have tried to view bot the videos. His wife wouldn't let him. Oh, that makes sense.
Ridiculing the situation surrounding this game, the situation that Tencent has created for itself. This is a game that failed so spectacularly, and it cost Tencent so much money that when speaking to investors, they said that Undawn's failure as a result of it, that's caused Tencent to...
How big is Tencent? So, this dude, Will Smith, by himself, dropped an L so big that he redirected the course of a $3 trillion company. Think about how fucking bad that is. Wow. Was Hong Kong dollars? Yeah, I don't know how much it is exactly. Like, what is this?
I don't know
USD?
if you can say that, but sure.
USD?
It's quite a sum of money, though.
I mean, I don't know, right? I'm not sure. Is it only 1 trillion? It's only 1 trillion, maybe. Look, guys, maybe it's only 1 trillion. So it's 339 billion? It's $39. Well, now it's going to be 38.
But like, think about it like that. Say it's 1 trillion, and the game was 0.1 billion cost. It's like, it's not even close in terms of making a dent in their valuation as a company. It's still a lot of money, but given the way these valuations are arrived at, it's a little tenuous in a way, but still, we're talking about 0.1% of the valuation of the company, right?
This is bad.
Away from large-scale standalone games, and now the company is turning its attention towards casual party games and Genshin Impact-like anime RPGs instead. It feels like they're once again sort of chasing trends. Why not focus on giving developers with a lot of creativity freedom to come up with ideas that set new trends and raise new bars to...
Well, they are. Tencent, this is what Tencent does. They give everybody $50, and so they own everything. So it's like the way that, like these big companies support politicians here. Like, you think the Koch brothers give a fuck who wins president? Who cares to them? They're paying both the candidates. Whoever wins, they win. It doesn't matter.
levels that then others have to chase after.
And then whenever the companies lose money on the investment, you write the investment off as a loss and you don't have to pay as many taxes. So it's like you got a situation here.
Instead of you being the one who's continuously chasing after trends or trying to mimic and copy others and just trying to get a slice of the pie in a saturated market, because that's what Undawn feels like. It feels like there's no soul to it. It doesn't feel like somebody had this passion project in mind and just like a really fantastic idea.
That's a really good point he brings up. This was no one's creative vision. No one grew up thinking,
300 people.
Man, I really want to make a zombie game with Will Smith in it.
Couldn't wait to bring out into the world. It just feels like a very corporately developed video game, sort of like a committee came together and asked themselves what gameplay elements would sell and can monetize.
It's like, you know what they did in order to get the premise for this game? Is they fed what is good game into ChatGPT. And somehow, out of some like weird algorithmic mistake, this is what it came up with.
And what's trending right now
really seems like really nobody cared at all.
Can we passionately make something that we can put our own mark on it and say this is a game that we made and it's got our identity in it, and it's something that people will gravitate towards because they feel the creative passion behind it. There's none of that with Undawn. And look, there's nothing wrong with like hiring celebrities if that's what you want to go for, but you got to use them appropriately. You know, when Kojima hired Norman Reedus, like sure, you can talk about the fact that Kojima seems to hire a lot of celebrities, but all those actors like pulled in their weight and used their talents and capabilities as actors to bring these characters to life, and it worked. You know, Matt Mikkelsen, Lea Seydoux, you name it. Same thing goes for Cyberpunk 2077. You know, Keanu Reeves really put himself into this project, and it wasn't just like a quick little promotional gig. He had tons of lines, and like this was a role that he really jumped into and really put a lot of himself into. Like this is a substantial role, and he like dedicated a lot of time voicing and performing this character. Same thing for Idris Elba in the new Cyberpunk expansion, where yes, you know, the fact that Idris Elba is in the game does obviously drive promotion. It does help market the game, but also Idris Elba.
But it doesn't make the game good. The thing is that Cyberpunk is good, and this makes it better. See, that's what people don't understand. Is people think that like, so there's two separate things. There's like what makes a game good and what makes a game better. There's a lot of things that make games better, but they don't make games good. Like celebrity endorsements, or like, you know, people are like, oh, representation, like any woke stuff. This isn't going to kill a game.
Yeah, I see where he's trying to go there. It's
but
like,
it can make something
do you
better
have a good
or worse.
game here? Yes.
That's it.
Okay, they didn't use this game.
Play this part really
you
well.
make the game popular with all kinds of gimmicks.
Yes,
but then you still have a bad game. Fundamentally,
it feels like, you know, like there was genuine artistic interest as far as like collaborating with these actors is concerned, and so that turned out really well. But in this case, it just feels like Will Smith is phoning it in for a quick paycheck, and that wasn't enough to have people ignore the fact that the game overall looked pretty mediocre, and based on reviews, it's looking like it did turn out to be pretty mediocre. And so now the conversation surrounding this game,
it does not even look like Will Smith. Do I have to be the person that says it? It doesn't. That doesn't look like Will. That's not Will Smith. Everybody fucking knows it's not Will Smith. Like you look at you know, Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk. That's Will Smooth. It's Chill Smith. Yeah, it's like, who is this? It's Bill Smith.
Will Smith game that nobody knew about, that flopped epically despite Will Smith's hardcore
like the
promotion
is there,
of it.
Right?
Scrolling down, plenty of people, you know, are talking about how this is a game that literally no one knew existed until this tweet. And there's a comment that ratioed IGN's reporting about the existence and failure of this Undawn video game with Will Smith involved.
This reminds me of like, it's like the same vibe as if like the local news just randomly covers a car crash that happened last year. It's like, by the way, so in, you know, October of 2023, there was actually a car crash, and you know, it held up the you know, the highway for a few hours, and you know, somebody had to be rushed to the hospital, and you know, like, yeah. So anyway, back to everything else, right? Just fucking randomly, out of nowhere.
So fascinating stuff. This game came and went like a fart in the wind. Is kind of all I can say about it, I guess. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know about Undawn.
It's Will Smith advertising it, not Amaranth, so they're not going to make any money off of it.
Not much, but a fascinating situation nonetheless that highlights that names and brands alone can't sell a game. Marvel's Avengers flopped despite the Avengers name. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is flopping despite it having DC characters behind it. And now Will Smith couldn't say mediocrity. You know, it's just people can smell mediocrity miles away, and Undawn just reeked of it. And yeah,
the reason I don't really play AAA games.
Landscape, they have to do better than this, is what I would say. But that's my take. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are about this whole Undawn situation.
I think it's
to be
funny.
further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on YongYea. I'll see you guys next time. YongYea out.
There it is. Will Smith made a video game, and nobody even knew about it until somebody made a video talking about how bad it was. You ever wonder, like, Will Smith finding out about the game and then knowing that, like, nobody talked about it, and then thinking to himself, you know, that's probably a good thing because it wasn't so good.
Maybe.
And then, like, he finds out, oh, shit, now they're talking, oh, God, oh, jeez.
Maybe they're going to make some...
Yeah, well, does he even know about it?
Make sure the game is good.
I wonder,
and then
I wonder how much he knew about it.
And the bells and the whistles. Yeah, anyway, how was that? Learned about a new game today. That wasn't really a game in the grand scheme of things. Hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like with Asmon, also with YongYea. We'll link both of them below. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. and share the video over here as well. Hopefully getting to point to all the good games too more often. I do like me some good games. Anyway, stay safe out there. Have a good one. Meow.